Good evening, everyone. Never did I think that I would ever get to speak about my scientific topic in a pub, but yeah, life is full of surprises, and I guess this is one of them. As Vasily mentioned, my name is Daria, and I work in the German Cancer Research Center. So mostly I work on antioxidants, oxidants, and cancer. But I thought that this is not the most suitable atmosphere to talk about deadly diseases. So for that purpose, I modified my talk, and instead I will talk about a process that unfortunately none of us can date, and that is the process of aging. So as you can see from these photos of the beautiful Brigitte Bardot, even time is ruthless to us and affects both our physical appearance and health. However, some people somehow manage to avoid this and maintain their youth for longer than is usually the case. However, I might be wrong, but there seems to have been a lot of cutting, pulling, and stitching involved in this that not everyone wants to go through. Indeed, why should we when all around us there are products that promise us eternal youth without trying too much? For instance, probably all of you have come across such creams, even if you didn't really want to, that promise you to have smooth skin until the day you die. Then even if you go to the supermarket, you can find products such as this antioxidant juice. And at the side it tells you in very simple German that basically if you drink this juice, you'll be young and healthy for the rest of your life. But yeah, so even in this simple advert that I took on an onboard magazine while flying home, you can basically see all you need to know about aging and how to combat it. So it uses two keywords. So the first one is super antioxidants, and the second word is skin aging free radicals. So the theory is simple. So you have these free radicals which cause your skin to age, but fortunately there's a thing called super antioxidants that will cure you of this. However, how much truth is there really behind this? This is what I'm going to talk to you about this evening. So, but first of all, just to make sure that we're on the same track, I'm going to introduce the two key players of my presentation. The first one is the oxidants, which, just as its namesake, just as its like human namesake, i.e. Political extremists that roam around freely uncaught by the police, is also known as the free radical. And in order to combat it, there is something called the antioxidants. Antioxidants are naturally present in the cell, but as you have seen, they can also supplement it. So, in essence, in my talk, I will try to answer the question whether this can really replace this. So I was trying to find a scalpel, but we ran out in the lab, so I just took a kitchen knife. But yeah, you get the point. Where does actually this idea of oxidants being involved in aging come from? Well, it emerged in the early 1960s, and it was put forth by a man called Denham Harman. Denham Harman was actually born in 1916. That is, he's already 98 years old, and if you look at this photograph, you might think that he definitely knows something about aging, because you'll never say that he looks like a 98-year-old. The idea behind this theory is rather simple. Cells, in order to carry out their natural functions, one of which is division, need energy. And as a byproduct of these energy-producing processes, our old friends, the free radicals. And free radicals, just as the name suggests, they are able to do lots of harm to the cell, so indeed they harm the cell and eventually the cell dies. But how true is this theory? As as most of you know, ethics and such stuff like that forbids us to carry out experiments directly on people, but fortunately we have model organisms. So one of the key model organisms for aging research is the worm C. elegans, and this simple experiment was carried out. So there were 3 worms, which I randomly named Aaron, Ben, and Chris, which were given different foods. So Aaron was fed with normal C. elegans food, Ben was fed with low-calorie C. elegans food, and that was mainly because it was known for a rather long time that if you lower the amount of calories you take in, that promotes longevity and extends your lifespan. And Chris was fed with this low energy food as well, supplemented by antioxidants to make it even healthier and better for the lifespan. But what was the outcome? The outcome was rather surprising. So it turns out that antioxidants actually cancel out all the positive effects that caloric restriction has on lifespan. So I mentioned that experiments on humans are forbidden, but from epidemiological studies it was also known that that if you supplement your food with lots of antioxidants, then that really has there are indications that it leads to a bunch of nasty diseases like diabetes, and also that the performance of athletes was greatly diminished by the uptake of antioxidants. But why is this so? Why is such a... Oh, this is the amount of days that they live for. Yeah. Using the words of Thomas Huxley, Darwin's bulldog, science once again is spoiled by an ugly fact. So the reason why there is such a discrepancy is because the cell is a very busy place. This diagram represents all the signaling pathways that take place inside the cell, which are needed in order to coordinate everything that goes on there. And in order for the different parts of the cell to communicate with each other, the cell needs messengers. And it just turns out that one of these messengers is our friend, the free radical. So in essence, it means that if you now take it away using antioxidants, you end up with a situation like this inside the cell. So, yeah, havoc in short. And so according to the new theory of aging, that aging is not rather a result of cumulative damage caused by oxidants, but rather the loss of the sensitivity of the cell to respond to oxidants. And indeed, so this is because, of course, when you have lots of oxidants, it is really harmful for the cell, but in truth, you never encounter such amounts of oxidants in the cell, only if you radiate the cell or, I don't know, treat it with some powerful chemotherapeutic. Oxidants are needed for the healthy well-being of the cell. So does that really mean that the only key to eternal youth is a visit to the Heidelberg Anti-Aging Center, which is actually just around the corner? So so it's you can just head there after the pub if you want to for whatever reason. But fortunately, no, because if you might remember this graph again, if you just restrict the caloric intake, then that seems to promote longevity. And indeed, the actual reason why caloric restriction and exercise... yes, that wasn't planned.
You're not living long, guys.
She's taking away promote lifespan is because they actually lead to the release of oxidants inside the cell. In short, I hope that my talk did not deter you from eating fruit and vegetables for the rest of your life, because they are good for you, not because, but despite of antioxidants. And yeah, just to finish off, I would like to thank my lab for giving me the opportunity to actually work on this topic. And this is an example of how we promote our extend our lifespan by going on 10-hour hikes. And yeah, this is our coat of arms. So yeah, thank you for your attention.